Hello. Give y'all one more good story before the night ends. Jake wanted me to tell this one. He seemed to think it was one of his favorites. Now, my dad had the bright idea one time to get a lot of chickens. He would go from one type of animal to the other. We'd have a bunch of chickens for a while, a bunch of pigs for a while, a bunch of cows for a while, a bunch of goats for a while. And one particular year, uh, they were giving away free dibbies. If you bought a 50-pound bag of starter feed, you get free dibbies. So he bought a bag of starter feed, had my mom buy a bag of starter feed, had my sister buy a bag of starter feed, had me buy a bag of starter feed, had somebody else buy bags. Anyway, we ended up with like 50 baby chicks, dibbies, if you will. And, well, we probably already had 100 chickens, give or take, 50 to 100, something like that. And all the pens were kind of full. So if you can imagine adding another 50 into the mix. Well, they grew up, of course, and got bigger. And well, that's about the time we had what they like to call free range chickens. And they were just chickens everywhere. We just turned them loose. Chickens went everywhere. But they'd always come back every night and roost in the pen. And once a year in the fall, we'd round up all the chickens and we'd take them to the flea market. There was a little flea market in Marion, North Carolina. About an hour or so from the house, we'd drive up there and take the chickens up there. And so we show up there with a whole truckload of chickens. And one of the funnest things, one of the funnest memories from my childhood, at least in the top 5, was at the end of the day, selling chickens, you would always end up with 2 or 3 chickens just nobody would buy. Just didn't like the way they looked, didn't think they would taste good, just different reasons. Didn't like the way they colored, I don't know. And you'd always end up with a couple of chickens left over. And what we would do with those was we'd reach over, of course you can't see my hand reaching over, reach over and pull the pin out of the door of the cage and let one of them out. And the chickens really weren't wild, so to speak, because we fed them every day and they were used to being around people, so they wouldn't really just like take off running. They would kind of walk out and get out on the back of the truck most of the time and just stand there and kind of look around and go, now what? And somebody would always walk by and go, oh, hey, chicken's loose. Oh no, my chicken's loose. And when you would holler, it would just scare the bejesus out of the poor chicken. Needless to say, there was more than one little spot of droppings on the back of the truck. But anyway, chicken would take off, and the guy was, oh man, you want help catching your chicken? Said, oh man, no, it's late in the day, man. I tell you what, if you can catch that chicken, you can have it. Well, ain't nothing a good redneck likes any more than a good challenge of catching a chicken. Just sit back in the truck and watch about a half hour of pandemonium while this group of people run around, diving under cars, falling in mud puddles, chasing this poor chicken around the flea market. He'd see it go this way, he'd see it go back there, and he'd go back over. And the chicken would take off flying. And finally, after about a half hour or so, they'd come back by chicken tucked up under their arm. Ha! Got her. Ha ha! Taking the chicken home. And as soon as they get out of sight, and they pull the pin, let the other one out, and do it all again. Because it was just funny to watch. My gosh. We had one old chicken. His name was Mr. Rhubarb. Old rooster. Old game rooster. Mean scutter. We took him up there with us, and he must have been 6, 7 years old. He was old. He was old for a rooster. He was very old. Big old spurs on the back of his leg. Been in a bunch of fights. I got stories about his chicken fights too. No, we weren't fighting chickens. That's not what I'm saying. Chickens, just free range chickens, they fight. They just do. And there's a couple funny stories about him and other roosters fighting, and I'll tell those later, some other time. Just check out other videos to see those. Anyway, I digress. Turned him loose at the Marion Flea Market, the old Marion Flea Market, not the new Marion Flea Market. The old Marion Flea Market had a creek running down the side of it, And he got out, he looked around, hopped up on top of the truck, threw his head back, wings out, crowed real big, king of the world. Then he seen them. There's 3 or 4 hens that lived across the creek over the edge of the woods. Well, that was for him. So he takes off the top of the truck, flies down to the ground, takes off across the flea market, gets over to the edge of the creek, flaps his wings, makes it across the creek. Next 3 or 4 times went up there and looked for him, made sure he was there. He had his little harem of chickens. He was fine living out in the woods. He lived there to the closest flea market. Probably another year or 2. But he was free. He was happy. I think we all should be. Well, y'all have a good evening. I have some more stories for you later. All right. Good night.